Hello, my name is ELIANNA Goldstein, and I am a co-founder at GETMR, where we have developed a moisturizer meets a better, safer SPF and aftershave all-in-one product, specifically for men. To understand how I ended up in St. Louis making sunscreen, you need to know a little bit more about me. I am from North Carolina, the Research Triangle Park area, where I grew up with two physicians for parents, one in family medicine and the other one a dermatologist and skin cancer surgeon. You might be getting where this is going, but they really taught me from an early age that treating and caring for others is not just a job for them, it's a way of life. That's how they've built a community. So I knew from an early age that someday I would too want to be able to build a community and to build something that did more good for the community that I became a part of. Throughout my time in North Carolina, I ended up attending UNC Chapel Hill, where I studied business and public policy, working in organizations like Cisco Technologies in their marketing department, learning about, how do they think about giving the most to their employees, a small scrappy team that was looking across an 100,000 plus organization and thinking about how they could help their employees feel like they were innovating every single day. These were incredible experiences, but I knew when I reached my senior year that if I wanted to build a company someday, I would need to, work in a little bit of a scrappier environment. So I applied for Venture for America, a 2-year fellowship where you go and work in a city where there are a ton of job opportunities, but there's not necessarily a lot of people moving there organically. I applied and was immediately so amazed by all the people I got to meet from across the country, young entrepreneurs who were so motivated to make a difference in the cities that they were going to live. I applied to Boeing Horizon X Ventures, a venture capital arm located here in St. Louis. You might be thinking, Boeing, not a startup. Yeah, and you'd be right. But the Horizon X team was very scrappy, and it still is, working in a small group to understand how could we add value to startups who were looking to partner with the Boeing organization. These were some of the most amazing entrepreneurs working in very capital-intensive environments. And what I saw was that I got to work with some of the most impressive, motivated, and passionate individuals that I'd ever come across. They empowered me to make a difference with the entrepreneurs and for the larger organization. But what also happened 2 years ago, while I was moving here to St. Louis, I also started working with my mother on a problem that she'd seen for the last 30 years, which was the rising rates of skin cancer among men. Every single day when I wake up, I put on my moisturizer that also has SPF in it. Or some days if I'm feeling fancy, I'll put on makeup that also has SPF in it. My brothers and my dad, who actually has developed skin cancer, they don't have something that they put on every single morning. And it's definitely not evoking the same values that they currently feel are representative of what they believe today for them. Something that is mineral-based, that uses language that they feel is representative of the type of misters that they want to be. So my mom and I started brainstorming, what could we do about this? We know that there's a problem, it's evident, but can we actually make something that's better? So for 2 years on nights and weekends, and now I will be working and am working full-time on this business, we developed GETMR, which is that all-in-one daily mineral SPF moisturizer and aftershave that you can wear every damn day. We have been so excited about learning the ins and outs of what it takes to bring a product that we can be proud about to market. We didn't expect to launch during COVID. I don't think anyone ever expects to launch during a pandemic, but I've also learned that there's never a best time to start a company. There might be easier times, definitely, but we have been working slowly every single day to make progress, whether that's talking to another customer, sending our formulation out for testing in the UK because, yes, the FDA here had some other priorities. It's just about making little bits of progress. We also realized about 3 months ago, this is a really hard time. How do we still go to market? Do we still go to market? Does it make sense? And what we realized is that, yes, now more than ever, do people need something in their morning routines and in their daily lives that serves them, that sets them up for long-term success. So that way they can actually feel good on a day-to-day basis, knowing that the things they put in and on their body are helping set themselves up for long-term success. So I am excited to start shipping product out from St. Louis this November and hope you enjoy the rest of Vision 2020. Thank you.
Hi, My name is Ron Story Jr., and I'm the founder of PitchDB. PitchDB is a software platform that allows speakers, consultants, and entrepreneurs to share their message via the stage, via online or offline. They can search for podcasts, they can search for live conferences, TEDx talks, all these different types of events to share their message with the world. Growing up in East St. Louis, I was always in awe of all the athletes and entertainers that have been successful, from Olympic great Jackie Joyner-Kersee to Miles Davis, the great jazz musician, or the coach at the University of Missouri, Conzo Martin. These are all great and accomplished people, but I had one small problem. I'm only 5'6", I can't shoot very well, and I'm not a very good singer. So I had to blaze my own trail down another path. I chose the path of entrepreneurship. Coming up, I always had these little side hustles that I would do. I would sell candy at school, I would collect cans and take them in for recycling. So those things built the foundation of what I do today. I was never afraid to go out and ask someone to give me money in exchange for giving them something. So when I decided to start a software company, I had to consider what my main weakness was. I don't know how to program, and I don't have $1 million to invest to bootstrap the company myself. So how was I going to do it? Well, I used the skills that I had, and I built some relationships with some people, and I always had the hustle muscle. I was always willing to work as hard as possible to make the things come true. So when I first started the company 2 years ago, I funded the company myself, and as the fund starts going low, as you're paying developers over a 2-year period, I even took up other side jobs. I would help other startups in St. Louis as a consultant to build out their sales teams. I would drive Uber, I would deliver groceries. I was willing to do whatever it took to make sure that my dream became a reality. Well, guess what? In January of 2020, the software was complete, and we launched the company publicly where people could sign up at least as beta testers. So in February, we put in our first 100 beta testers, and they're all excited, and then the pandemic happens. Once the pandemic happened, it totally destroyed our business on one side, but it totally inspired another version of our business on the other side. Our live events and all of those conferences that we had in there, all of those events were gone because of the pandemic. Nobody was getting booked for live events because all of the stadiums and things were closed. But people were starting to get booked more and more on podcasts. So our online side of the business began to take hold, which was the side that most people doubted at first, because prior to COVID, everybody wanted to do live speaking gigs instead of doing online because they were getting paid more. So the thing that I learned through the pandemic and through starting this company was that in life, there's always going to be weaknesses that you have. There's always going to be strengths. There's always going to be unknown obstacles that come your way. The best thing you can do is lean back on what you know. I've made it through a lot of tough times in the past. I've made it through growing up in one of the toughest cities in the world. So a little pandemic wasn't going to scare me. A little bit of problems or an obstacle on this side, it wasn't going to scare me away. It pushed me back to what I originally was grounded on, which was my ability to get out and get the message out to people and convince them that everything was going to be okay and that they still should do business with me. So my word of encouragement to everyone that's watching today is go forward. Be willing to do whatever it takes. Even if you have to do like me and drive Uber or sell advertising in stadiums, I was willing to do whatever it took to make sure that my developers were going to get paid and my dream was going to be built. And once that dream was built, even after the pandemic, I continued to push and trying to sell our software. And over the last 6 months, we've had 4 companies that have made 7-figure offers to me to buy the company from me, all because of the success that we've had in the last 8 months of operations. So I encourage everyone who hears this video, keep going forward. Believe in yourself, because nobody else will believe as much as you believe. All right? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Whitney McClendon, the founder and CEO of EEMERG. EEMERG is an on-demand roadside assistance marketplace platform. We are reinventing how drivers request emergency roadside assistance services. EEMERG connects customers and service providers directly so that assistance arrives promptly. This method of direct communication also helps to reduce the cost for customers. The user-friendly web app makes it easy for anyone to request the services that they need without the hassle of a membership. EEMERG Roadside Assistance Marketplace is the new standard for emergency roadside assistance services. When I attended the Vision Conference last year, I was new to the startup ecosystem. I didn't know how invested I would become. When I walked into the conference, I realized that I no longer needed to search for entrepreneurs that looked like me. I had found them right here. I walked out of that conference with new friends, new connections, and new motivation. The mentors, advisors, and champions that we met through the conference and other programs within the ecosystem were a significant help to us at the top of the year when the entire world stopped to battle COVID. In March and April, about 64% of the U.S. was under some type of stay-at-home order. With no one on the roads, we had a tremendous decrease in service calls. I remember reaching out to Christy and asking her if she knew of any relief resources for startups. Not only did she offer a list of resources, but she also set aside time to brainstorm with me. She challenged me to step outside of my comfort zone and to find new ways to remain relevant in the middle of a pandemic. By the end of our conversation, I had a new list. That list was full of ideas and suggestions for me to pivot my business. With my new plan in hand, we were able to increase profits by 241% from April to May. We are working on keeping that momentum going. Changing our target audience and create new advertisement allowed us to gain more revenue and to maintain during uncertain times. We've made great strides since Vision 2019. We've had over 3,000 unique users, and we now have a network of over 900 providers covering 38 states. Roadside assistance is a $6 billion industry, and we're solidifying more market share every day. Thank you so much.
My name is Aminola Solanke. I'm the founder of My Events Coordinator, a company here in St. Louis that has successfully hosted multiple corporate and private events. Earlier on in my business, it was difficult. I came from a background where I didn't have anyone in my life who I can say, oh, you are my role model or you're my mentor. Because in my family, we all go to school, get a job, and that's really much it. But when I decided to embark on this journey, it was very tough. And as a minority female immigrant entrepreneur, there was really no place I could go. I didn't know anywhere. There was no classes. There was no networking group I could really join to help me. It was hard coming up. It was hard getting to know people. Networking was even difficult. I didn't even know how to network. But with all that being said, I am grateful that today it's different. Today I have a go-to place. I have resources. Back in March, when we first started hearing about COVID, for an event management company that does party and party rentals, you can imagine how daunting it was. I was afraid because I really didn't know if I'm going to survive this because it was direct hit at what we do. Without parties, there's no My Events Coordinator. If people stop having gatherings today, there's nothing I can do. But I'm glad that we're still here. I'm glad that things are picking up slowly. We understand that for some people, it was difficult because the special moments they planned, a wedding, special anniversaries, family reunion, was taken away from them. And we are able to help those clients who still desire to have something small. An example was recently when we're supposed to have this huge wedding, something beautiful, and we've planned for months and days and nights. However, COVID came, and what do? But regardless, we were still able to have a beautiful ceremony, and the bride and groom looked fabulous. And I'm going to say this to my fellow entrepreneurs. It's often said business is not for the faint-hearted, and I've experienced that firsthand. But I encourage you, stay focused, understanding that there are going to be rough parts, there are going to be some challenges, there are going to be some doors that shut against you, even some doors that you can't even get open yourself. But stay true to your dream. Continue to feed your passion and make sure that whatever you do, do something every day to support your dream. I am particularly grateful to the organizers of Vision 2020 conference. Coming here today, I'm already and I'm excited about all the people on the lineup. I'm excited with all the connections I'm going to make. And I know we're doing it virtually, but even with that, there's so much that we can take from this conference. And in saying that, I'm also very grateful to all the sponsors, because their help, their support, and their givings have enabled the organizers to bring us on board and to support us in the way that, leaving from this conference, we are going to build a strong and successful, long-lasting business. So I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, I am Valeria Rodriguez, the artist and creator of Shine in All Shades Empowerment Coloring Book Series. As a young budding teenager, I sat with my beautiful dark Dominican aunt. As she combed my hair, she stopped and shared, "Ay, Vale, your hair's kinky, pero it's better than mine. Mine is ugly. Yo soy negra, soy fea." She said that I'm black and I'm ugly to me in Spanish and laughed it off. Moments like these kept happening throughout my childhood into my adulthood in different cultural circles, in different social circles, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around why we continue to belittle ourselves, why we don't create safe spaces to uplift one another and safe spaces for us to talk about many of the cultural issues and very much social issues that we deal with day to day, and how to get through them together as one. I found myself, especially as an Afro-Latina Dominican woman, as a woman period, being challenged and really getting lost in depression and anxiety. And art helped me get out of that space. And I wanted to create an amazing experience as an entrepreneur to uplift and create safe spaces for us to shine unapologetically. Shine in All Shades Empowerment Coloring Book Series does just that. It empowers and celebrates our diversity as women of the African diaspora. Whether you're rocking locks or braids, head wraps or hijabs, there can never be too much representation and empowerment. I hand drew, designed, and self-published this very robust coloring book. And it's a reminder that wellness begins with how we treat ourselves, speak to ourselves, and celebrate ourselves. This coloring book is one of 6 in the book series. I also offer color pencils, affirmation pillows, apparel, empowerment, stickers, and buttons that help us shine unapologetically day to day. As an entrepreneur, it's been quite a journey. 1, building community. 2, getting out of my comfort zone and asking for help. And 3, trusting. And I want to share more on those 3 points. So number 1, community. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, and I'm Dominican. A lot of people aren't really familiar with the diversity that is Latin America and Hispanics. So shining a light on who I am in St. Louis, being based here, has been so beautiful, and being able to share my story, share my culture, my heritage with our beautiful community, and learning how we align and we can uplift one another has been a game changer. I totally miss pre-COVID time when we can have vending events where we can have amazing networking experiences in our robust ecosystem for entrepreneurs and just business professionals. And it's been a challenge dealing with COVID as well, learning how to navigate the virtual world. So learning how to pivot in our community has been beautiful. Being able to offer free coloring book sheets and just learning how to survive has been quite a game changer for my business. Number 2, learning how to network and to open up and allow people to give you critiques, to help lift you and build you, and to provide resources for your business. Being vulnerable enough to open up and join amazing programs that are catered to entrepreneurs, especially those that are catered to Black and brown creators, has been so beautiful. And I personally have trust issues, which leans into the 3rd point. And it's just been beautiful to learn how to trust, to learn how to step out of my comfort zone and build tribes of amazing boss women, amazing fellow entrepreneurs of different cultural backgrounds, men, women, non-binary individuals. And it's been so eye-opening to be able to trust in a community that is meant for us to thrive in. Number 3 is trust. So learning how to take teachings and applying it, learning how to prepare myself has been truly impactful for Shining All Shades and all my personal business endeavors, because I learned through peers, I learned through our community that asking for help is nothing to be ashamed about. It doesn't make you less of a boss to do such things. And I learned to automate my business, to create systems that supports my business so that I can delegate and trust fellow professionals to help me get better at what I do and for me to focus on what I love. So with these gems, feel free to reach out to me at shiningallshades.com or via Pinterest, Instagram, or Facebook at Shining All Shades. And you are an amazing creator, whether you're a part-time or full-time entrepreneur. Remember to take these gems, apply them, and remember to always keep shining.
St. Louis is the home of makers, builders, creators, thinkers, and doers. And today, our tenacious spirit of doing is creating a renaissance from the ground up by shining a light on the people who keep us moving forward. We're making a place where you can start something, you get the support to stand out, and where you can stay and make St. Louis yours. That's STL Made. See our stories at thestl.com.